In this lecture, I will show you how you can get results from multiple columns at the same time. As you can see, we have customer names and we have sales for 4 quarters written separately in column C, D, E, and F. So what we can do here is to write VLOOKUP, select the name. The table array obviously is going to be the entire 5 columns. Now, if I wanted quarter one, obviously we would have written 2 with an exact match, and this would have given us 138 for Anthony Jacobs, which we can see here. But what we want is to get column number 2, 3, 4, and 5. And to do that, we will have to use the concept of an array, which means that inside curly braces, we will have to write 2, comma 3, comma 4, comma 5. Right? So what we're doing is that we're instructing VLOOKUP to go through every single item in this array. That means that the lookup value will be searched for and the result will come from 2, then from 3, then from 4, and then from 5. And as you can see, we get all the 4 results at the same time using a single VLOOKUP. Now, please note, this is very important. You need to have Microsoft 365 for this to work because this concept is called dynamic arrays. And if you don't have it on your version of MS Office and you try to write the formula the way I have written it, you will get an error, right? So just make sure that your version of MS Office has dynamic arrays on it. And just to show you what dynamic arrays are, if we come to dynamic arrays Excel, and let's come to the Microsoft official website, you notice that this was introduced in September 2018, but this is only available for Excel for Microsoft 365. So in case you're working even on 2019 MS Office, this will not work. Also, it is not necessary that you want to get all the 4 columns. For example, for some reason, if I just wanted, let's say column number 2 and 5, so I could have just written 2 and 5. So that would be quarter 1 and quarter 4. And as you can see, it is now only giving me quarter 1 result and quarter 4 result. So for Anthony, it will be 138 and 162. There are other ways of working with this as well. So just to give you an example, let's say you wanted the result for Anthony Jacobs and quarter 1 and quarter 4 to come in 2 rows and not in 2 columns like this. So we could have copied the same formula here. So let me just do that once again. Okay, so I could have copied the same formula. So this would be L4. Now, at the moment you notice that 138 and 162 are coming in 2 different columns. But because we want them to come in 2 different rows, we can simply replace this comma with a semicolon. And you notice that the results come like this. Just like we did earlier, if you wanted, let's say, all the 4 quarters, then you could have written 2, semicolon 3, semicolon 4, semicolon 5. Right? So these are dynamic arrays, like I showed you on the official Microsoft documentation. They were introduced for the first time in 2018, so they haven't really been out there for very long. And presently, it has been rolled out only to users of Microsoft 365. So you need to have this with you. And also, those of you who are wondering what is the difference between Office 365 and Microsoft 365, remember they are the same thing. Office 365 is no more. It has been renamed and it has become Microsoft 365. But unfortunately, if you're working on 2013, 2016, or 2019, or if you're working for Office for Mac, you will not be able to use the concept of dynamic arrays. So this is how it works. You enclose all the columns that you want inside a curly brace that becomes the array, and then you can put in all the different column numbers that you require.